competition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS.
Welcome to Boise, Idaho, the Albuquerque bracket, and top-seeded Washington against the 8th seed Pacific. The bracket busting has begun. 2 3 seeds are gone. How about a 1? The winner will advance into the Sweet 16 to take on the winner of Georgia Tech and Louisville. They will play in Nashville tomorrow. Bob Thomason is in his 17th year as the head coach at Pacific in Stockton, California. The 71 alum has guided his team to the best overall record in the last 2 years in Division 1A. His starting 5 is global. Karakic, along with Guillaume Yango, Marker, and Mihailovic, and David Doubley is the Big West Player of the Year at the point. Lorenzo Romar, 10 years removed from being an assistant on this floor when Tyus Edney went end-to-end for Jim Herrick in a national title year. Now he has his team a top seed with Bobby Jones, Jensen, Trey Simmons, Nate Robinson, and Will Conroy, his starting 5. And the officials for today's Game 1 here in Boise: Mark Whitehead, the referee, Donnie Gray, and Michael Stewart. Tim Brando, Mike Jaminski, happy to have you with us. Already one outstanding second-round game in the books. Texas Tech taking Bob Knight into the Sweet 16 for the first time since '94. We'll see what happens in this one.
Tim, interesting contract, speed and quickness of Washington against the length of Pacific. Which tops the other?
Trey Simmons leaves it for Jensen. He has range, and he drops through a tray.
And everybody's going to participate in this offense, Tim. They have 5 guys averaging double figures, 2 others just underneath it, and that showed up in their first-round win against Montana as well. They really distribute the ball nicely.
Yeah, they made their first 7 shots against the Grizzlies in the opening round game, and they've made their first here. Jasko Karakic takes it inside the lane. And he gets bumped. Foul will go against the Huskies.
One of the things Lorenzo Romar talked about yesterday, defensive discipline. This Pacific team so very good at running their offense and running their sets. You really can't take many chances against them. They'll make you pay.
What is it? He said they're the most efficient offensive basketball team we'll play.
That he's seen, period.
Yeah.
And I have to agree with him. I haven't seen them on tape in the last couple of days.
Doubley off the front iron. Karakic loses it. And here's the run out for Jones. They're so quick.
Well, Pacific is really going to have to worry about defensive transition. They're going to have to get balance back. Bob Thomason talking about that with Mihailovic right now, signaling to him on the floor. This Washington team so explosive out of the backcourt.
One of the things you'll notice today is that Washington is one of the very few teams that send 5 guys to the offensive boards as Marker gets his first basket. And he really is the glue of this offensive basketball team.
Now, that's an interesting way to slow a team down. After Marker made the shot, he kind of let it hit his body, and the ball went careening out. And that takes a little time for Washington to get the ball out of bounds. A smart play.
Nate Robinson, and the former cornerback, takes it in amongst the taller Pacific front line. Not there for Simmons. Jones there for the follow. Bobby Jones, Jr. from Compton, California.
8 rebounds against Montana. And there it is, the offensive rebounding. Pacific in a zone that time. It's a little more difficult to get bodies on people in that situation.
Robinson forced Doubley to pick up his dribble a little early. Yango far away from the basket, leaves it for Mihailovic. That's what these guys can do. All the players on the floor for Pacific can put the ball on the deck, and most of them shoot very well from the perimeter.
Do you think there's a correlation between the international flavor that's in that lineup? All of them are very skilled.
Yes, this is truly we are the world lineup. That's a double dribble as Doubley actually got that ball caught on the seat of his pants. Yes, you could strike up Quincy Jones's song, Yugoslavia, Bosnia, and on to Sweden for Karakic. He was recruited by Christian Moriker to this team for Bob Thomason, who made a trip to Scandinavia in 2000, and that's where he found all of this talent.
Oh, that's tough duty. I think either Bob Thomason or Kofi Annan can coach this team, one of the two.
Simmons runs the curl. Yango the rebound.
And he's going to be a big key for Washington. I think he's the guy that takes big shots for this ball club, and he's the one against Montana that every time they tried to make a run, he was the one that stopped it.
Yeah, our Seth Davis back in the studio with Clark Kellogg and Greg Gumbel said that he would be the star of round 2. We shall see. Lorenzo Romar hopes not. Yango did not have one of his greatest performances against Montana, but everyone else did. There he is, locked up with Jensen, right on cue. Guillaume Yango ties the game at 7.
That was a great look by Pacific. They just emptied out the backside, and Yango did a nice job of keeping Jensen on his back.
James Jones takes it from downtown. Bobby Jones is very active early on. He has 7.
And Jones, you have to pressure him. Not only good inside, but a 48% shooter from 3.
And remind everybody coming up, those of you expecting to see Utah and Oklahoma, at 40 minutes past the hour, we'll take you there. And off the steal, a foul committed by David Dudley.
Nate Robinson going flying into the bench, and already Dudley looking a little shaky here early in this game. Tim had the double dribble and then the steal turnover right now. They need to get him settled down.
And he actually told us that the thing he was concerned about coming into today's game when we chatted with him yesterday was those passes, the first pass you make to initiate your offense. Washington, they take a lot of chances. They get into passing lanes, and he's very aware of that.
Well, and what they're doing, what Washington is doing, especially with Moriker, they're taking him out. They were fronting the 2 high posts that time and not allowing that entry pass.
Joel Smith into the game, can't hit, and there's a foul over the back. Hakeem Rollins picking it up, the senior from Mesa, Arizona, just into the game. Timeout, Washington by 3.
No inhibitions, make no conditions, get a little out of line. The best thing about being a woman.
With its Vortec engine and seating for up to 6, the Colorado Crew Cab has power and room to spare.
Man, I feel like a woman.
Chevy Colorado, an American revolution.
1 year of tuition at a public university can cost more than $10,000. A year of private, more than $30,000. Don't forget the books, room and board, and long-distance phone calls home. Will you be ready? You can be. American Century Investments. Contact us or your investment professional.
Ask for a prospectus that contains investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses, and other information that should be carefully read and considered before investing.
The thrill of white-knuckle driving obviously came from someone with white knuckles.
Great day, let's bring her in.
Formula One-inspired Michelin Pilot Series high-performance tires.
Or not.
Michelin, a better way forward.
The fans sitting here, and here, and here switched to Allstate car insurance last year. They saved an average of $338 a year. Are you in good hands?
We have a great team at CBS News. They're the ones who can tell us what we need to know because they've been there.
The CBS Evening News with Bob Schieffer.
A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS.
Top-seeded Washington leads by 3. We were talking about Bob Thomas and how confident he is in his team, and why not. They only have 5 losses since January 1 of 04, when unbeaten in the Big West regular season. And I don't know of anyone that's enjoying the moment as much as Bob Thomason is, Mike.
Well, he talked to us yesterday, Tim, and the fact that they went through this last year, they were a little overwhelmed by the media and winning and all the attention that they were getting. Much better prepared to handle tournament situations this year, and I think it showed in how relaxed he was throughout this whole weekend.
20 minutes before the game, he came over to talk to us about how great last night was in the NCAA tournament. Watched every bit of it. They've made their last 3 field goals. They trail by 3. It's been really Bobby Jones on the offensive end for Washington.
Interesting move by Pacific to let Mihailovic bring the ball up the floor and put Dobley on the wing.
Jones pulls up again. Well, he has 10 of the 13 for the Huskies. He's 4 for 4. The rest of the team 1 out of 5.
Pacific really packed in defensively, almost inviting that shot, but now Jones has proven that he can make it. You've got to come out and get a hand up on him and challenge.
Really put a body on Marker here, and he needs help. Reikic comes up to get it, checked by Smith. Washington's defense really up in the Pacific grill early in this game, and that's one of the real criticisms of this Washington team, particularly by those that don't believe that they're worthy of a #1 seed. They usually give some space on the defensive end for the opposition to shoot.
Well, it's early, but so far that it's Washington's quickness that has trumped the length of Pacific here.
Roy. Brandon Roy, the junior out of Seattle. 5 minutes gone by here in Boise, and the top seed leads by 8. And again, second round action continues. For those of you expecting to see that game, we'll get you there as soon as it starts. Dangerous pass that Yango brings in. Reikic. Again, that was a force. Yango felt someone was on his arm, but no whistle.
The key part here early, the ball pressure by Washington. They're really making Pacific initiate their offense much farther out than they'd like to, and under duress, they've had to make difficult passes against this Washington D.
3 turnovers in their last 4 trips down the floor. And the youngster that had an outstanding day from downtown, Mike Webb, a career-high 15, number 3 for Pacific, is coming to the game for Marker. He adds quickness and another 3-point shooter. Robinson. Yango clears it for Pacific. And here's Webb. He's one of those guys that can go for 20 in 5 minutes. Trying to work pick and roll. Yango really being pushed around. Smith finds Robinson. And there's the bump on Mihailovic. And I think you're right. It is that quickness of Washington. Brandon Roy off the dribble, attracting the foul.
Hey, look at you talked about Webb, and lower seeds in this tournament need unknown people to step up and make big plays. But right now, Pacific needs to settle down and find some rhythm in their offense.
Now they've turned it over 5 times. That's 2 more turnovers than field goals early on. Johnny Gray has come into the game for Pacific, and Bob Thomason thought that his quickness would be very important today, coming off the bench against Washington.
Well, he's the heir apparent to Dudley. Next year, he'll have the ball in his hand.
Robinson, nice line with Smith, but he's rejected.
Yango.
Well, he and Newton. Tyler Newton is also on the floor. Tall, rangy youngster that can really handle the ball. Now floating down into the paint. There's Webb off the back rim.
Well, that denial of the passing lanes by Washington is forcing Pacific to do much more dribbling than they normally like to.
Robinson finding Williams. They were hoping for a travel. They do not get it. And Newton picks up the foul. Will Conroy coming back into the game, as is Christian Marker. Nate Robinson sits down for the first time.
It's interesting, too, talking to the players from both teams, especially Washington, talking about the lack of respect and the West Coast bias, East Coast bias that's out there. They really came into this tournament with a chip on their shoulders, wanting to prove that they are a worthy #1 seed.
Hey, we had Will Conroy telling us yesterday he thinks Channing Frye should get more pub from Arizona. These young men really do know the game. They appreciate the history of it as well. Foul against Marker. Christian out of Sweden, as we mentioned earlier, and the first of the Swedes to join this team.
And so much of the offense runs through him. Washington is really, we haven't called his name out other than that foul too much early in this game. He needs to become involved. He's like a point forward.
Boy, a pull-up. Former starter that injured his knee, and Lorenzo Romar calls him the most complete player he's had the last 15 games. He's really meant a lot to his team.
And then Washington really looks in rhythm offensively on their own right. Only one turnover, shooting over 50% early in the game.
This pressure has really gotten to Pacific's offense. I think it's surprised them a little bit. It's very similar to what Arizona did to Utah State in the second half of our first-round game the other night.
Well, you know what, and you made a valid comparison between Washington and Wake Forest. I think both teams really not known or talked about much about their defense, and sometimes overlooked. But Washington, I think, here early trying to make a statement that we can play that end of the floor as well.
Andrew Bogut fans, don't worry, we'll take you to him as they take on the Oklahoma Sooners. See if Bookout can block out against the biggest post player in the country. Big 12 already has one in the Sweet 16. See what happens with Kelvin Sampson's team a bit later today. 5 to shoot. Time running out. Gray leaves it for Doubley. Oh, that's a big basket. Could be a momentum change in this game as Doubley ends that 10-0 run.
The senior making a nice play on that time, not trying to beat the clock, just went up with nice form.
Ray Simmons turned it over. Guillaume Yango coming towards him. His eyes got a little bigger.
Here's the look. Webb looked like he was in deep trouble, and the senior bails him out with a beautiful shot up front.
All you ask is a shooter's chance, and certainly Pacific has that. Quality shooters up and down their lineup and even on their bench. That's the story of the game right now, the turnovers. On the pop-out, Marker, very skilled offensively, leaves it for Doubley.
Right now they can't get any touches inside on Yango. A foul right there, Jensen battling him, but they have really taken attention off of the post.
Guillaume wants a few more whistles. Washington by 7.
Where there's life, there's Bud. In a penthouse or a bungalow, where the bright sun shines or candles glow. Budweiser beer is for folks who know where there's life. There's Bud, the king of beer, Budweiser.
For a limited time, go back in time with the 1936 Budweiser Gold Eagle Claw 6-pack.
When you post your resume on Monster, your career is going places. If you post it before April 15th, you could be too. Just tell Monster why you deserve the trip of a lifetime.
I'm as close to a perfectionist as I can get.
I'm not a stranger to hard work.
I'm the guy that is going to pay most attention to the details.
Never ever called in sick. I really love programming.
I look forward to going to work every day.
Post or update your resume on Monster.com by April 15th, and you could win the trip of a lifetime. We believe you've earned it.
And you can find me on Monster.
Monster. Today's the day.
Yeah, I'd like to redeem my credit card miles to the finals in St. Louis.
He shoots. Nothing but no.
Go from no to no hassle with Capital One No Hassle Rewards. Fly any airline with no blackout dates.
What's in your wallet?
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathed the mountain air, man. Of travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
Visit ChoiceHotels.com this spring and book a stay at any of these hotels. You'll earn triple Choice Privileges points or triple airline miles. Triple your rewards only at ChoiceHotels.com. Choice Hotels. We'll see you there.
Yeah, I'd like to redeem my credit card miles to the finals in St. Louis.
No!
Go from no to no hassle with Capital One No Hassle Rewards. Fly any airline with no blackout dates.
What's in your wallet?
Girl power activated. Let's go.
With standard 1-year OnStar service, available satellite navigation, and rear DVD, the Chevy Trailblazer is technology to go. Chevy Trailblazer, an American revolution.
Greg Gumbel in New York. We will certainly keep you updated on what happens with the Tigers and the Huskies, but right now, Game 2 approaches in Tucson. It's Utah, the 6th seed, against 3rd seed Oklahoma. Let's take you there live and join Kevin Harlan and Dan Bonner.
Welcome, everyone, to Tucson, Arizona, and the McKale Center for the second round of the NCAA tournament. Our game features number 6 seed Utah, number 3 seed Oklahoma. And the winner will take on the winner of Cincinnati and Kentucky in Austin. Somewhere in there, Ray Giacoletti giving final words to his Utah Runnin' Utes. And they are led by the Wooden Award finalist, Andrew Bogut from Australia.
And Terrell Everett, you see down at the bottom right of your screen there, one of the most creative players that we've seen. He was only 2 for 10 yesterday. He needs to be better today.
Calvin Sampson, the former Pac-10 and Big 8 Coach of the Year in his 11th season with the Sooners. Our officials for this game, John Cal, Zelton Steed, and Mike Wood. Our game today being brought to you in HD TV by Harris Corporation, the world leader in broadcast systems for high-definition television. With Dan Bonner, this is Kevin Harlan. We are in Tucson, Arizona. Utah comes in, Dan, at 28-5, Oklahoma at 24-7.
And Oklahoma starts in the man-to-man defense, and I think pressure on the ball by Oklahoma is going to be one of the big keys today. Make it tough to get the ball to Bogut rather than worry about defending Bogut once he catches it in there. The backdoor pass for the opening dunk.
Dresden to Bryant Markson. Here comes Lavender and Taj Gray. Godbold and Terrell Everett. Look out with the screen. And Everett diving inside.
And that's exactly what we're talking about with Everett. He does a great job penetrating to the basket. He can score very creatively once he does. Oklahoma man-to-man defense.
Utah beat UTEP by 6 on Thursday to get here, and Oklahoma beat Niagara by 17 on Thursday. It's Bogut against Bookout.
See double team when Bogut gets close to the basket. Utah doesn't mind running the shot clock down.
Ryan Markson with the shot clock at 5. Taps it to Jackson. Guarded by Everett with a fake to get it free. Oh my! What a shot by Jackson.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Oklahoma can force that kind of a shot every time, Kelvin Sampson will be satisfied, although the result's certainly not pleasing to the Oklahoma head coach.
That was something to see. Here comes Taj Gray drawing the double. Snaps it out, and a 3 by Lavender, and a rebound pulled down by Justin Hawkins.
Now, Utah doesn't really want to run a lot. They want to wait for Bogut to get down the court, but if they have a transition opportunity, they will take it.
Wide open Jackson. He nailed 1 3. He lost another.
I didn't bank that one, Tim. Do we count it?
Utah jumps off to a 6-point lead.
Jackson, a 45% three-point shooter.
Bookout and Everett. Terrell Everett.
Well, that's a nice job by Utah on the boards. Bogut nowhere close to the boards, but nonetheless, good block out by the Utes.
Mark Jackson, who did not hit a three-point shot in the win over UTEP on Thursday, is at 2 long-range bombs and spoon feeds the driving Justin Hawkins.
This is just a great job by Utah to start the game. It looks like Oklahoma's defense, other than the defense on the ball, is concentrating so hard on Bogut. Everybody paying attention to him, and so far he's been a decoy, but an excellent decoy. The pass to Jackson, he looks now here. Everybody's worried about Bogut. Gray loses track of Hawkins, and they get 2 points and a chance for 3.
So Hawkins at the line, coming off a 4.3 rebound performance against UTEP on Thursday. An 8-point lead right now by the Runnin' Utes of Utah. Rebound by Taj Gray. He had a terrific game against Niagara with 13 points and 13 rebounds.
Oklahoma does a great job from the backcourt with their attacking dribble penetration.
Uh-oh. That's off the fingertips of Everett on the pass by the freshman Godbold.
Little pregame, early game jitters, Kevin. Oklahoma
Certainly after missing last season in the tournament, the Sooners are back this year. But let's talk about the running Utes and some of the keys for them today.
Well, Ray Giacoletti thinks that they're going to have to hit some outside shot to loosen things up on the inside, and then they don't want to play in the 80s. They'd much rather play in the 60s.
They got book out on Bogut.
Of course, what they'd really like to do is play in the 80s and have Oklahoma play in the 60s.
Hawkins. And left wide open to fire is Tucson.
That's the third three-point basket of the game for Utah. That's exactly what Ray Giacoletti was talking about. You keep making threes, they're going to have to come out and guard them. That leaves Bogut open.
So 5 Utah possessions, 5 consecutive baskets. They're on an 11-0 run, and they lead the Big 12 Sooners.
As you can see, folks, the winds right now are really gusting. We haven't seen anybody out here on the streets downtown. It's all but deserted. The roads are beginning to flood. Reports of bottlenecks are coming in from all over. Games have been canceled. Now, based on the data we're gathering back at the studio, all indications are this storm is headed for the record books. So again, stay inside. I gotta tell you, folks, I don't know if we're gonna need to start collecting 2 of every animal, but we'll get...
That time of year again.
Big deals for the big dance. The GM NCAA March Madness event. Score big with specially marked deals. The price you see is the price you pay.
New from Dolco, it's the Suck Up. He never sweats because he doesn't take risks at work.
Hey, Suck Up, knock, knock.
Good one, sir.
That's not the joke, Suck Up.
All right.
The Suck Up comes with detachable puckered lips and realistic head nodding action. Also available, the Wuss and Mama's Boy.
Some men never take risks. For men who do take risks, there's New Degree for Men. With twice the protection you need, it won't let you down.
When this room is booked, a Janus investment is working. The hotel's numbers were looking up, so Janus tracked room rates to track demand, confirmed reservations with travel agents, interviewed loyal guests, checked into different hotels every night to check out the competition. Projections were rooted in reality. Janus booked the stock, and no vacancy could mean sweet dreams for Janus investors. Carefully read and consider objectives, fees, charges, and risks before you invest. Call Janus for a prospectus with this information and more.
I'll take one.
There you go. Your shoulder pad.
Oh, thanks.
Introducing new Gatorade Lemonade. Quenches deep body thirst the way only a Gatorade Lemonade can.
Class of '94. Here I come.
When you want to make a good impression, Enterprise Rent-A-Car will pick you up free and get you going in style.
Looking good, Moose.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Well, Utah, Dan Bonner, leads by 11 points, and Andrew Bogut, their big guy, has not taken one shot so far.
No, he's been a big distraction, however, but he can do more than just distract people. Excellent hands inside, can power the ball to the basket, a very good defensive player, an excellent passer. Heck, we even saw him make a couple of three-point shots the other day.
Neither team made a change in their lineup following that break. A nice up and under by Gray, gets his own missed and lost it, and out of bounds and off of Utah, and a fresh shot clock with which to work for the Sooners.
That's a nice job by Oklahoma to come out of the timeout and punch the ball inside.
Everett, who is truly the X factor, got bowled for 3, short. Everett got the offensive rebound, and no one came out to cover. There's a Utah foul. Godbolt was trying to get it. Looks like Jackson may have picked it up. Here are some of the keys for the Oklahoma Sooners this afternoon.
We talked about the fact that they've got to start defending Bogut out on the perimeter with good pressure against the ball. And then they've got some big guys inside to the Oklahoma Sooners, and they can, I think, play a physical game against Bogut.
Lawrence McKenzie has come in for Lavender for Oklahoma.
You know, Bookout is 250. Gray is 240.
This is Taj Gray, a terrific junior college player a season ago. The rebound is claimed inside by Hawkins of Utah.
Markson. Oh, and he lost the ball. Bryant Markson is a junior. And maybe that's one of the reasons why Utah would prefer to play in the 60s. They were running the ball down the court. Markson couldn't control it on the dribble.
Oklahoma, the Big 12 Conference regular season co-champions with the Kansas Jayhawks. Utah won the Mountain West Conference regular season. Kevin Bookout.
And Utah will let Bookout have that shot every single time. Bookout, very effective close to the basket, maybe within 5 or 6 feet, but he's not as effective out there.
Wisdom picked up by Godboy.
This is good pressure on the ball.
And they got Bogut down low, and he is jousting with Taj Gray. Boy, Oklahoma just sent one defender at Bogut after another, and that's where Jackson came in, and the defense by Bookout, and then the subsequent drive by Markson, and an Oklahoma foul. And Taj Gray may have gotten a hand there. Utah by 11. The winner moves on to Austin.
No, I feel all right now. I feel pretty good, y'all.
The SS Chevys are back. 6 cars, 1,926 horsepower. Chevy, an American revolution.
Excuse me, are you still relying on your broker for investment ideas?
Got an alternative? I'm listening.
Are you kidding? Who's got time to do it yourself?
I invest for myself at TD Waterhouse. They make it easy to come up with my own investment ideas.
With tools like their stock screeners, TD Waterhouse helps you find investment ideas in the time it takes to make a cup of coffee. You can do this. Switch to TD Waterhouse, the alternative to Schwab and higher-priced brokers like Merrill Lynch.
Can't ignore Friday's new sizzling chicken and shrimp. It's just one of our 6 sizzling platters. Everyone could use more Fridays.
I'm going in. Sure beats watching the game on your TV.
You never seen my TV?
Don't have to. I can tell what kind of TV you have just by looking at that cell phone of yours. You have a 13-inch TV that you got free with your mattress 5 years ago.
Nice. It's a dishwasher.
Only Singular has exclusive deals on the very latest technology, like the ultra-thin razor.
And I can tell from your phone that, oh, man.
The new Singular, raising the bar.
I don't want to do this anymore, please.
Remember the Lindsay Chase murder?
Doctor kills his wife for the insurance money. Gun was never found.
Now, 23 years later, new clues will lead detectives to a neighborhood full of suspects.
Lindsay was lording over us.
I actually enjoyed watching her suffer.
A new episode of Cold Case, CBS tomorrow.
Greg Clark and Seth in New York. Utah with a 13-2 lead on the Oklahoma Sooners as the Sooners try to find their rhythm against a tough Utah team. We'll get you back to that shortly, but meanwhile in Boise, Pacific and Washington are tied at 27. Let's go to Tim Brando and Mike Jaminski.
A very well-played game here in Boise. Tied at 27, Pacific the 8th seed against top-seeded Washington. Bob Thomason's club down by 10 points at one point. Have come back with a 20-10 run of their own against Lorenzo Romar's club, keyed by Christian Moriker, the Schwede that's got a sweet shot.
And it's really nice that, they showed a lot of poise in coming back, because you can clearly see early Washington trying to set the tempo. They got up and down the floor, and more importantly, they got some turnovers. Pacific has done a much better job recently of taking care of the ball.
Inside Jones. I don't know that he realized how close to the 10 he was. It appeared that he was ready to pass, and then he realized, oh, I'm about 3 feet away. Might as well take it.
Well, he's already at his season average, Tim, and having a spectacular game early for the Huskies.
There's the lob from Mihailovic, a bit too strong for Tyler Newton. And Pacific turns it over. Moriker and Yango, by the way, have combined for 18 points. Guillaume having a much better day. There's Christian on the bench right now. You see that shot between the eyes he took. He also got a headache the other day in the matchup against Pittsburgh. That was the 6th turnover of the game committed by Pacific, but they're first in the last 8 minutes. Again, kept alive by Washington, but cleared by Guillaume Yango.
Boy, talking about 2 different styles to play against in 3 days. A bruising Pittsburgh team that's very physical up front, and then the lightning quick Washington Husky team 2 days later.
Newton fouled by Rollins. Hakeem, the senior from Mesa, Arizona. And Christian Marker making his way back in.
Bob Thomason trying to buy him, Marker, a few minutes here early in the first half because of the pace of the game. They're definitely going to need him in the second 20 minutes. He was out for an extended period of time, and he really was their offense in the first part of this first half.
Both teams shooting well. They committed the same number of fouls. Yango. Count the basket. It did roll through anyway, but it was interfered with.
A nice adjustment by Pacific. They'd been overplaying that double high post. They emptied out the back of the zone and threw right over the top for the lob.
Conroy on the dribble drive past Yango. Jones all over the offensive glass. That's really been the catalyst for the Huskies so far. Bobby Jones so very active on the offensive boards.
And Tim, what happened on that play, Yango had it covered, but Marker came over as a second shot blocker, and that's what opened up the front of the rim. You see him coming into play right there. He's got to stay on the front of the rim as a rebounder in that situation.
Think about those games played last night, and it's amazing how much it means to make sure you block out and don't allow that second chance opportunity. Well, coming up at halftime, Singular at the half. Greg, Clark, and Seth will get you caught up on all of the tournament news, plus a live look at all of the other action going on in the tournament coming up on Singular at the half.
Well, Bobby Jones, a special place in Lorenzo Romar's heart, his first recruit at Washington.
Lorenzo was quite a player. A number of people have forgotten that.
I played against him for a few years in the NBA after he got out. Had a nice career, and I think he's found his calling now.
Yes, I believe so.
The interesting thing is that he went back and actually he got his degree in actually 92 at Cincinnati, well after he was out of school.
Those little nuggets that make the G-Man special as we take you to this timeout.
Investing for your IRA. When you choose T. Rowe Price, it's about more than just hitting home runs. It's about a consistent, steady approach, year after year. Call 1-800-541-IRA-8 to find out why more and more investors are switching to a T. Rowe Price IRA. You can even open an account right over the phone and put our consistent long-term approach to work for your retirement savings. T. Rowe Price, 1-800-541-IRA-8.
Washington leads by 1 in what has been a game of runs. Washington had a 10-love spurt after a 7-all tie, and then Pacific counter-punching with a 22-13 run of their own.
I think the pace that Washington likes to play at invites that. You know, there are going to be a lot of possessions in this game for both teams.
There's a cut in 20 minutes.
We've played 7 minutes, and Oklahoma still only has 4 points.
Markson with the steal, 2-on-1 with Tristan at the other end. Oh, rejected by Everett and picked up by Gray. And it's OU with a 4-on-3 the other way, and Lavender trying to pierce. And it's Everett for 3 for the Sooners. Rebound by Jackson. And he had the ball knocked away. Lavender knocked it out for OU. The running Utes will take it.
Boy, Oklahoma really does a nice job hustling back on the defensive end. That's Everett. We talked about his variety of skills. Boy, that's just a great hustle play, but Oklahoma can't convert down on the other end.
Oklahoma is 0 of 3 in the three-point shooting category so far, whereas Utah is 3 of 3.
And keep in mind, in one of these NCAA tournament games, sometimes it's a run that is decisive, and maybe this run at the beginning of the game, Oklahoma digging themselves a hole that they're going to have to be working all afternoon to dig out of.
Utah has won 23 of their last 25 games. After starting the season 4-2. Watson Bogut began to really make his presence known. Jackson loses. Here comes Everett. A 2-on-2. The feed to Johnny Gilbert with the flush. And a timeout taken by Ray Giacoetti, the Runnin' Utes coach. A one-time lead of 12 is down to 10. 16-6 Utah. Timeout.
The thrill of white-knuckle driving obviously came from someone with white knuckles.
Great day, let's bring her in.
Formula One inspired Michelin Pilot Series high-performance tires.
Or not.
Michelin, a better way forward.
That's the Utah lead as Oklahoma has started 3 of 14 from the field. And Utah, on the other hand, has gone 6 of 9.
Well, and the only misses are Oklahoma blocks. So block shots are part of good defense. But when you make all 6 of the other shots, that means that you're not putting enough pressure somewhere.
Neither team made a change out of that break, and we're at the 12-minute mark of the first half.
And that may be the formula that Oklahoma just showed you before the break. Create the turnover, get down the court, get the easy basket. That was tremendous defensive effort the last time they created that turnover with the shot clock running down. The shot clock's already at 18 before Utah even gets set.
Watson against Everett. Bogut has not scored, and Bogut has not taken a shot. Here he goes. Partial screen inside, and a tie-up with Gilbert and Bogut. Nice defense by Johnny Gilbert coming off the bench because Cookout has 2 fouls for the Sooners.
Come in.
Gesundheit.
Oh.
NyQuil. You sleep great. Sleep like lumber.
What?
Like the infant.
Oh.
Sleep like the home. Good night.
NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head fever, best sleep you ever got with a cold medicine.
Life doesn't stand still, and neither do we. That's why you trust Lowe's for installation. Not because Lowe's has project managers who take you from start to finish, which we have, or because our installers are certified and fully insured, or because Lowe's guarantees you'll be 100% satisfied. From roofing to flooring to windows to appliances. You see, at Lowe's, improving home improvement never ends. Now get 10% off all carpet and sheet vinyl that Lowe's installs.
Trust. It's everything. And nobody hands out trust. I don't have to tell you, trust is earned. Talent is one thing. Combine that talent with people you trust, and you will walk out on that court with a level of respect no one can match.
The Hartford, a company built on 194 years of trust. Ask your advisor what The Hartford can do for you.
Later this year, we're launching the first of several new satellites that together will deliver over 1,500 high-definition channels across the country. It's part of DirecTV's commitment to the best TV experience. Your TV's ready. Are you?
Oklahoma has never led this game. We've had a tie, and of course, no lead changes. Andrew Bogut, that's shocking to see that. His team leading by the margin they're leading, and he has not scored a single point. Not taken a single shot.
And Oklahoma, they just have not gotten their offense rolling yet, and I think Utah would be well advised to get as far ahead as they possibly can, because this is an Oklahoma team that averages better than 75 points a game. They can score.
Sooner more than later. And inside Gilbert with the left-hand layup and a foul. And Jackson just came in the game and he picks up the foul. Monday on CBS begins with new episodes of Still Standing and Listen Up, followed by a special Viewer's Choice, Everybody Loves Raymond. Then new episodes of 2.5 Men and CSI Miami, plus The Late Show with David Letterman. That's Monday on CBS. Here's Johnny Gilbert, the former Minneapolis High School Player of the Year at the free throw line and a fifth-year senior and the captain of his team.
This is a guy who has really been a great role player for Oklahoma. His value has to be measured much more than just by those numbers. He's a team captain, an inspirational kind of guy. Not a good free throw shooter, only 56%, but he made both right there.
And of course, he's taken the place, as we mentioned before, of Kevin Bookout, who's another turnover. A couple of fouls for Oklahoma, and so here's a fifth turnover for Utah. And Everett wheels and scoops. And Gilbert had a hand on it, and it is off Oklahoma.
Well, that was a very, very tough shot attempt by Everett. He had a guy open in the corner.
Oh, Gilbert hurt his hand. It's already bandaged from an earlier injury. And there's a foul. And it goes quickly on Lawrence McKenzie of Oklahoma. That's the second on him.
Oklahoma has plenty of depth, and I think that if they pick up some fouls by attacking defensively, they don't mind. Now, Bookout picked up 2 fouls early, so Johnny Gilbert in the game has to play a lot of minutes now.
And they will bring in Jason Williams as they take out Lawrence McKenzie, will the Sooners. Jason Williams is a transfer from Xavier.
Oklahoma coming with the pressure. You know, they have not played well at all offensively, but they're only down by 8 points, so it's not an ideal situation for Kelvin Sampson. But they haven't dug so big a hole that you figure there it's impossible to dig out.
You mentioned 5 turnovers for Utah. Oklahoma only has 2 so far.
And Utah doesn't mind playing slowly, but I mean, they're just getting the offense organized now, and there's 10 seconds left on the shot clock.
Cheney is in for the first time and pops. Rebound is off of Utah. So now Cheney is in with the 2 Jacksons, Chris and Mark. And Bogut remains. Near the end of today's game, we'll select a Chevy player of the game from each team. And to honor their determination and outstanding play, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Chevy, an American Revolution.
Utah in the man-to-man defense.
Everett tries to chip his way in.
Changed that shot in the air. Very, very clever offensively. And now suddenly Oklahoma making a little mini run.
6-0 run to be exact. Drisdom had it almost pickpocketed by the quick Drew Lavender. Now he is suffocated with Williams and Lavender.
And look at this pressure. Now there's 20 seconds left on the shot clock, and Utah hasn't even started yet.
And that's a foul on Lavender of OU.
Trying to get close and draw the charge. But look at this pressure. The guy's just swarming. Now, how are you going to throw the ball to Bogut? He's one-on-one down on the inside, but they can't even see him in there. The defense all over the ball.
Williams, Everett, Taj Gray, Johnny Gilbert, all out there for the Oklahoma Sooners, along with Lavender. And at the free throw line is Mark Jackson, who began the game with 2 3-point hits. And he puts in his 7th point right there. Free throw shooting, Utah is 2 of 4. Oklahoma is 2 of 2.
And Jackson, an 86% free throw shooter, as Hawkins comes back in the game. And
actually went a little
Chris
bit
Jackson
smaller.
leads.
Yeah, Chris Jackson is a 6'11 kid, gives way to the 6'5 Justin Hawkins. And now Drisdom will leave. And coming back in the game, Bryant Markson for the running Utes. Still nothing from Bogut. No points, no shots. Out of bounds off Taj Gray of Oklahoma. Utah making their 4th NCAA tournament appearance in a row, and they've made 10 of the last 11. Mentioned before, Oklahoma did not play last year in the tournament after having made it 9 straight times. And some good defense, and here come the Sooners. Lavender, a wide open 3. And a tough rebound yanked away by Bryant Markson of Utah.
And Oklahoma, a team that makes a lot of three-point shots, 212 on the season coming into this game.
No lead changes in a tie, and the big lead for Utah has climbed as large as 12.
But Oklahoma has not played well on the offensive end, and I think you've got to credit the Utah defense, particularly the presence of Bogut. But on the defensive end, Oklahoma has played very, very well. Been real tough for Utah, particularly after the first flurry of the game, to get anything going on offense.
Richard Chaney's got it. He's out of Los Angeles. Here comes Bogut into Gilbert. That's a charge. And that's the third turnover on Bogut. That is the only category where he has any numbers aside from the foul he picked up right there.
Well, if you're the Oklahoma Sooners, this is what you want Bogut to be doing, trying to dribble the ball to the basket from the top of the key. Nice job by Gilbert moving his feet. That's that experience, that fifth-year senior out there, reading the play perfectly.
Lavender for three. And nothing falling for OU. He is 4 of 19 is Oklahoma shooting from the floor.
And they're only down 7 points. Boy, Gilbert doing a great job battling inside against Bogut.
Rolling around, and Bogut finally gets his first two as he taps it in.
Wow, once the shot goes up there, Bogut had great position on the inside. He is as good as anybody in the country at keeping the ball up on the board. 7 feet tall, very long arms. Does a great job keeping those arms up.
Everett sneaks one off to Gray, and Bogut defending. Hawkins comes over for the double. Lavender and open. Jason Williams. Rebound by Gray with an offensive board.
Well, good patience by Gray that time. Couple of fakes, waited till Bogut was off balance, and then powered it up.
Gray is 1 of 5, so he gets his first field goal this afternoon. Markson, Hawkins caught the laser pass and a foul. He was converged on in a hurry. Johnny Gilbert was down there. And also Jason Williams of Oklahoma.
Bogut is so dangerous because he's so big, tips the ball up once, then tips it twice, and he is powerful enough that once he gets inside, you're simply not going to move him off his position.
Jason Williams for Oklahoma picked up his first personal foul, and Justin Hawkins at the free throw line for the running Utes. Trying to make a Sweet 16. Kevin Bookout comes in, and he plays with a couple fouls, and the freshman David Godbold will check in the game. Taj Gray and Terrell Everett will take a breather on the Calvin Sampson Oklahoma bench.
Be interesting to see whether or not those 2 fouls will limit Bookout's aggressiveness. Utah staying in the man-to-man.
Bookout is really battling Bogut.
He's trying to create some space inside. Gilbert a little bit of a height advantage.
Lavender guarded by Jackson. Shot clock is now down to 10. And Williams against Markson. There's a foul on Markson of Utah. Markson picks up number 1. Kevin Bookout. And Andrew Bogut banging here in Tucson.
What is taste loss?
Am I at risk?
I thought the government wiped out taste loss in the 1950s.
If you have questions, we have the answers for you.
How can we fight taste loss?
Protect yourself with a great tasting, less filling Miller Lite. And please, keep asking questions.
Is now a good time to talk about taste loss?
Anytime is a good time to talk about taste loss. Miller, good call.
It's time to look at stars in a whole new light. Full line of Star motorcycles. For a limited time, get special financing on any Star motorcycle.
Disciplined investing. It's not about following the crowd. At T. Rowe Price, our independent research means we're not deceived by every market ripple, and we don't chase every fad. 75% of our funds beat their 1, 5, and 10-year Lipper averages. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
Sure beats watching the game on your TV.
You never seen my TV?
Don't have to. I can tell what kind of TV you have just by looking at that cell phone of yours. You have a 13-inch TV that you got free with your mattress 5 years ago.
It's a dishwasher.
Only Singular has exclusive deals on the very latest technology, like the ultra-thin razor.
And I can tell from your phone that, oh man.
The new Singular, raising the bar.
Hammer throw is tough. It isn't just you against a 9-pound ball. It's you against yourself. It's pure concentration, and you have to dig deep inside to find every throw. It's brutal. I had to study biomedical engineering just to relax.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us are going pro in something other than sports.
Well, the headline coming into this game, of course, was the Australian Olympian for Utah, the sophomore, the 7-foot Mountain West Player of the Year, Andrew Bogut, but he has been very quiet, only 1 of 2, 3 rebounds and 2 points.
Well, obviously, they need more offense from Bogut than that, Kevin, but he has been a presence defensively.
Utah has led by as many as 12 points. Oklahoma has never led. We've not had a lead change in this game. Andrew Bogut, the headliner, as we were just talking about, only 2 points and 2 shots taken. Leading scorer is the point guard for Utah. Mark Jackson with 7. Began the game with a couple of threes. The winner here goes on to Austin.
And Oklahoma has really struggled on the offensive end. Now they're going to try to go inside one-on-one against Bogut. That is a tough shot. You know, and I think Bogut's presence on the inside has sort of caused the Sooners to back off a little bit on something they do very well, and that is driving the ball to the basket from the perimeter.
There's another Utah turnover, and they've had a bunch. That is numbers 8 in the afternoon, only 2 against Oklahoma. So here comes the freshman Godbold driving inside, and it is retrieved by Williams, who feeds to Godbold.
Kevin, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Godbold driving to the basket totally changes the shot because he knows Bogut is around. Oklahoma fortunate to come up with that one on the rebound.
Oklahoma is only shooting 22% in this game. Godbold around the defensive chaining. Another miss for OU. They are 5 of 24.
You know, you come wheeling off that screen and you see Bogut standing there. Even though you're shooting the jump shot and you can't get it, I think that thought lurks in the back of your mind.
That's a good point. His presence alone, as you mentioned, the entire first half has been a story for Utah, which controls with Hawkins working over Gilbert. And there's Bookout, who may have just picked up the foul. He did, and that is number 3 on one of the pivotal players for the Oklahoma Sooners.
Bogut is not a guy who's just standing around. That shot goes up. He's going after the basketball, moving very quickly for a man that size. Bookout just gets caught. I think he got surprised by the quickness with which Bogut was able to get to that ball.
Terrell Everett and Lawrence McKenzie check back in for the Sooners. Bookout is gone with the 3 fouls. Lavender will join him on the OU bench. A free throw attempt by Bogut. He was only 4 of 10 the other afternoon against Texas El Paso. Everett tries to slash. Bogut with the rejection, and Taj Gray is there to clean it up for Oklahoma.
With nothing but white shirts around the basket that time, and I think that's what Oklahoma needs to do. Drive to the basket. Even if Bogut blocks the shot, maybe you can get the offensive rebound or get him in foul trouble.
Gray is on Hawkins, and Gray's defense got that turnover, and here comes Oklahoma. 9 Utah turnovers that they have led, except for an early tie, every second of this game.
It's just amazing the defense that Oklahoma is playing, and they're still down by 6 points. And some of that credit has to go to the Utah defense. They're not half bad either.
Gray sees an opening and works into Hawkins. Bogut collects his 6th rebound.
Nice positioning by Hawkins. Gray with the height advantage, but Hawkins just didn't let him bull his way to the basket. Don't always have to block shots to play good defense inside.
Utah's gone 3 of 3 above the arc. There's a traveling violation. on the ball handler, Drisden. 10 turnovers for Utah. You should take a look at our game summary so far.
You can see Oklahoma only shooting 21%. They've missed all 7 of their 3-point field goals, but their ability to create turnovers is what's keeping them in this game. You know, you shoot 21% in an NCAA tournament game, you figure you're going to be down by more than 6.
6 of 27. 27 Oklahoma shots, only 14 field goal attempts by Utah. McKenzie laces one home. And that one-time 12-point Utah lead is down to 4. So with Oklahoma shooting 22% and riding a 12-4 run, Utah comes the other way, having gone 7 of 14.
Williams just doing a great job denying the basketball.
Oh, Bogut tried to sneak it in. Chaney. Another Utah turnover. And here comes McKenzie, who loses his balance, and they're going to call it on Drisden.
That's one of those plays where the foul probably doesn't get called if McKenzie doesn't lose his balance. This is a forced pass by Bogut, normally a very, very good passer. You'll see Drisden come from behind. Not much contact there, but it created an advantage for Utah because McKenzie fell down.
Markson will come in, and Drisden will take a breather for the running Utes, who were 13-1 in the Mountain West. Oklahoma was 12-4 in the Big 12.
It's going to put more pressure on Mark Jackson. He's going to have to handle the point guard duties now. Drisden with 2 personal fouls.
Good point. There's a travel, and it's called on McKenzie of Oklahoma. And only the 3rd OU turnover in the first half.
We talked about Oklahoma and the fact that they average more than 75 points a game, but traditionally Kelvin Sampson coached teams don't mind playing basketball this way. It may not be the prettiest thing to watch, but traditionally Kelvin Sampson puts guys out there who are tough and who play very, very hard.
Richard Chaney. Andrew Bogut. Mark Jackson screened by Bogut and a 3 by Jackson. He was fighting inside. Also, Hawkins was in there. And that is a foul. And it goes on Hawkins of Utah. The Sooners fighting back and down by 4.
I love the tender, crisp bacon cheddar ranch, the best they grow on trees, and the streams of bacon ranch dressing flow right up to your knees. There's tumbleweeds. Cheddar paves the streets. You get the veg all day, all the lotto tickets pay. There's a king who wants you to have it your way. That's the tender, crisp bacon cheddar ranch. The tender, crisp bacon cheddar ranch.
Come and get it.
Time to look at stars in a whole new light. The full line of Star motorcycles. For a limited time, get special financing on any Star motorcycle.
Medical technology is big business, so Janice is scrubbing up to see a new device in action and to examine the company that makes it. Would it make a healthy investment? Numbers aren't enough. Neither are company claims. Janice does exploratory surgery on the story behind the stock, even talks to patients. The prognosis looks good for them and Janice investors. Carefully read and consider objectives, fees, charges, and risks before you invest. Call Janice for a prospectus with this information and more.
I still don't get it. Why do I need AOL on top of my high-speed connection?
Let's say that your ham sandwich is a computer on a basic high-speed connection. And let's say that my tuna sandwich is a computer with the protection of AOL. Let's go on the internet.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Here's a whole bunch of spam. And more spam. Spamity calamity. And then here's some computer viruses. Viruses. Now, which would you rather have? Basic high speed or high speed with AOL?
I'll have the tuna.
Actually, the tuna's mine.
You have some computer virus on your shoe.
Get AOL on broadband for greater peace of mind and much more. Want a better internet? You belong in America Online.
The Oklahoma Sooners have forced 11 Utah turnovers.
And that's been a big story in this game. An Oklahoma team that is not shooting the ball well has stayed within 4 points based on their ability to force turnovers. Utah very sloppy with their ball handling. And maybe, Kevin, they have missed an opportunity to blow this game open early.
It's interesting you said that. Here's another interesting set of numbers. Each team has made 7 field goals, but Oklahoma has taken 13 more shots from the field.
That goes right back to the turnovers, and Oklahoma has gotten a couple of offensive rebounds.
The biggest lead for Utah has been 12. OU has never led. Bogut with the rebound right there. He's collected 7.
And even though Utah is a team that doesn't necessarily like to run up and down, they may want to consider playing a little bit in transition to try to get this Oklahoma defense to back off.
It's Richard Chaney to Hawkins and down low to Bogut. Bookout is on the Oklahoma bench. Oh, what a pass. Bookout is on the Oklahoma bench with 3 fouls. So Gilbert is going to see a lot of time. And a whistle and a foul on McKenzie for Oklahoma. And now he has 3 personal fouls.
What pressure on
Oklahoma? They've got some guys to take his position.
The pressure on the basketball making it really difficult for Bogut to find anybody. I don't know how he saw Hawkins behind him, but I'll tell you what, he was fortunate that that ball wasn't stolen. Can't get a lot of juice on that behind the backwards pass.
Hawkins at the free throw line. Dan, you do predominantly ACC games. You've seen a lot of Big 12. You've watched games on tape all season long. Where does Andrew Bogut fit on the landscape of a possible National College Player of the Year?
I don't think there's any question that he has to be one of the prime candidates for. I mean, he leads the country in double-doubles. So, you know, his presence in his game in the first half today statistically doesn't look very good, but his presence, I think, has really caused Oklahoma to change what they do best on offense, and that's one of the reasons why the Sooners are struggling.
Lavender and Terrell Everett working on Markson. This is Jason Williams to Taj Gray, who's got some breathing space and made a move, and he palmed it.
And he did palm the ball. And who's he trying to beat? Bogut.
Utah by 6. We're approaching 3 to play in the first half. Oh, nice drop pass inside. Bogut to Hawkins. Tapped in by Markson. That's another thing about Bogut's game that we love to watch.
He's a great passer. That was almost an impossible pass. I don't know how that got in there. But you get that kind of spacing on offense. It gives you some room to run to the offensive board. So even though that shot was missed, Utah doing a nice job securing the rebound.
Jackson and Hawkins are the leading scorers in this game with 7 points apiece for the running Utes. 6 for Everett leads OU. Lavender trying to get inside, and Johnny Gilbert taps it in. Gilbert's got 6.
Tries to throw it up over Bogut, but draws enough attention that Gilbert's loose for the rebound.
Bogut again, another great pass. Markson couldn't get it, but Hawkins retrieves it. It's slapped away by Lavender, and Hawkins got it back, and a good rebound by Gilbert.
Well, how active is Oklahoma on defense? Slapping at the ball every chance it's anywhere around.
This is Everett against Markson, who picks up the Utah foul. And Markson picks up number 2.
Bringing Bogut to that high post spot, creating some room for guys to go backdoor. Hawkins actually drops that when they score. Now this one again, the backdoor cut. Defense by Oklahoma is what gets that play. Oklahoma recovered and knocked the ball away. That was Godbolt.
One of the things about those numbers we just saw there for Andrew Bogut, the 7-foot sophomore Aussie, as that trickles in, is that although the assist number is sometimes low, and in this particular graphic 0, he will have the pass before the assist, so his pass kind of begins the offensive trigger.
Well, he didn't get an assist on that one pass because his teammate missed the layup, but then another guy tipped it in, and without that pass, the guy's not available for the tip-in. So that speaks to the point you're making, Kevin.
Longar is checked in for Oklahoma, a freshman from Rochester, Minnesota. And he is a long player. Guarding Hawkins, and that is a foul on Longar. First, here's some of our tournament flavor. Texas Tech, their first Sweet 16 appearance since 1996. Bobby Knight going there as a head coach for the first time since 1994 when he coached the Indiana Hoosiers.
And I'll tell you something about that Texas Tech team. With the way they play that motion offense, let's say, for example, they match up with Wake Forest in the Sweet 16. They will give Wake Forest all kinds of trouble because that motion offense is very difficult to guard. Of course, Wake Forest has to take care of business with West Virginia tomorrow, so it's no sure thing that they'll get there.
Hawkins again.
Actually, Wake and West Virginia played later on this evening. Excuse me, Kevin.
Hawkins has a game-high 9 with the Utah running Utes.
Utah stays in the man-to-man defense.
Everett on Chaney. Oh, and a couple of dazzling moves, but it won't go.
You know, Utah is really able to push out and guard guys on the perimeter. Even a team like Oklahoma that drives the ball to the basket so well because they know they have Bogut behind them. So if somebody gets loose, he can block the shot.
Bogut only with 2 and a pass to Chaney, who dishes nicely to Hawkins over Godbolt off the baseline. And a foul on top of that. And it goes on Godbolt of Oklahoma. That's the first on the Sooner.
Bogut, they run into him, and look at the presence that he has to make that pass. And because he makes that great pass coming out of that double team where he really got popped, they're able to finally get the ball to Hawkins for the dunk. Hawkins coming up big today, already exceeding his average on the season.
Tipped volleyball by Bogut, and he keeps it alive in the final minute of our first half in Tucson. Bogut again. They've been trying that all the time with the back door, and they go into Marks in that time, and it's another Oklahoma foul. And that goes on Godbolt for a second time. Coming up in the singular at the half, Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg, and Seth Davis will get you caught up on all the tournament news and live look-ins and other action going on in the NCAAs today, plus a singular Naismith update. It's all coming up on the singular at the half from our CBS studios in New York.
Kevin, a lot of times play in the NCAA tournament is dependent upon adjustments that teams make throughout the game. And I think Utah has made a great adjustment here in the game, taking that 1-4 offense, bringing Bogut up to the free throw line and making the entry pass there. Oklahoma trying to pressure the ball and deny the wings. But once they can get the ball to Bogut, then with his passing ability, it's really loosened things up. You just don't see the same pressure from Oklahoma.
Good point. Utah is on a 10-3 run right now. So after Oklahoma got it very close to within 2, Utah has shifted gears and accelerated, and there's a foul. Reinstated. Jonas Longvad was inside, and that is going to go against Hawkins of the Utah Utes.
I'll tell you what, nobody's given any quarter in this game. Every time you run off a screen, you can expect that somebody is going to pop you, whether you're running off the screen or setting the screen. This is a very intense basketball game.
56% free throw shooter Johnny Gilbert at the line. With just under 34 seconds to play in our first half.
One shot.
Free throw shooting. 4 of 6 OU, now 5 of 7, and Utah has gone 9 of 15. Full court pressure by Oklahoma. Here's Bogut with only 2 points in the first half.
Only 2 points in the first half, but when Ray Giacoletti moved him to that free throw line area on the offensive end, that's what's opened things up for Utah offensively.
Longvad to Jackson. Final seconds rolling off here in the first half. Andrew Bogut from 3. He had 2 the other afternoon. A rebound by Hawkins trying to beat the buzzer. And outside Jackson will not count. If it goes, it will not count. We are at halftime. As Oklahoma did not really get beaten by Bogut with those numbers right there, but Oklahoma has their lowest scoring half of the season, only 21 points. Utah led by as many as 12. We take a break, then we take you to New York. with Greg Gumbel after a word from your local CBS station.
Serious about dirt? So are we. Now Yamaha, the adrenaline specialist, has an offer that'll really get you pumping. Get any Yamaha for as low as $39 a month, plus up to $200 cash back.
Monday, what happens when your new boss is barely older than your son?
He's a real smart kid. A real chip off the old grandfather?
Still standing. Then it's the showbiz event of the year when Tony and his daughter team up.
Tatum O'Neal did a movie with her dad and then spent the next 16 years in rehab.
A new Listen Up after a new Still Standing CBS Monday.
A cop convicted of murder. What if there was no crime? Tonight.
Tons of Toyota trucks, hundreds of choices. Toyota's nationwide spring sales event with thousands of amazing values. Now choose 0% financing for 36 months on Tundra or 4Runner. Or get up to $1,500 customer cash on Tundra or $900 on 4Runner. Or get great leases. And check out Tacoma. It's Motor Trend's 2005 Truck of the Year. Toyota's nationwide spring sales event. Quality, selection, value. Now that's moving you forward.
To some of the pros out there, just in case you forgot.
This is what a pass looks like.
This is what setting a pick looks like.
This is what a 15-foot jumper looks like.
This is what moving your feet looks like.
This is what floor burn looks like.
There are two motivations in sports. Which is yours?
The American Revolution drives into March, and we're bringing our A game with the Chevy NCAA March Madness event. Leave your checkbook at home and take advantage of 0 down payment, 0 due at signing, and 0 security deposit on this great offer. Qualified lessees can lease an 05 Impala sedan for around $247 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. Big deals for the big dance. Hurry, ends March 31st. See your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular, raising the bar.
Hi once again, everyone. Welcome to our studios here in New York for Singular at the Half. I'm Greg Gumbel, along with Clark Kellogg and Seth Davis. At halftime, the Oklahoma Sooners registering a low point total on the year for a half are probably happy to be as close as they are. It's 30-21 Utah. Meanwhile, in Boise, Idaho, Pacific and Washington are underway in the second half. The Huskies with a double-digit lead, 48-36. Let's take you there live and join Tim Brando and Mike Jaminski.
Just got a technical on top.
Washington with their largest lead of 13 after Bob Thomason picked up a technical foul just a moment ago after Jasko Karekic picked up a foul underneath. He felt the contact should have been initiated from Washington to Tyler Newton, and the ball should have been going the other way.
Well, risky to give up 2 points in that situation, but I think Bob Thomason a calculated move to try to light a fire under his team, because after that play, Pacific went over and huddled up. Let's see if they can regroup here.
The Huskies have taken it right to them here in the second half, with Trey Simmons knocking down a 3 and Nate Robinson getting to the glass. After Bobby Jones led Washington in the opening half with 13 points, that's 2 over his normal average of 11 per game.
His issue has been over the last couple of years, and you see it inside the rush up the floor, and so many times you're not in good rebounding position. That was the non-call right there, and that really opened up the glass for Bobby Jones.
And now Thomason definitely had a point, and clearly Bob Thomason had come out of the coaching box, wanted to get the technical, and did.
Just like it's a 4-point play, and against a team as explosive as Washington, that's you don't want to be giving them 3 points.
Only led by 7 at the break, and they've extended it now to 16, by far and away the largest lead of the afternoon. Newton puts it on the deck, and there's a reach-in foul. Robinson coming from the backside. Let's see now, after that technical foul picked up by Bob Thomason, how that impacts the flow of the game
with well over 17 minutes remaining.
And the referee's looking at Nate Robinson and his reaction to that play. You always have to be careful after that first technical is called. The pump is primed, and you have to be on your best behavior.
Yango using the window.
They've been much more aggressive on the offensive glass in the last few possessions. That tall front line for Pacific starting to pay some dividends.
Pacific's been outscored 25-9 since the game was tied at 29. Washington scoring very easily now.
Well, Pacific coming alive offensively, Tim, but you can't trade baskets at this point. They have got to pick it up on the defensive end. Washington really just scoring too easily.
Hailovich being dogged by Conroy, and he's tagged with the hand check foul. First against Will Conroy, the senior from Seattle.
Well, let's see if the tighter whistle now loosens up that ball pressure on the perimeter for Washington, and it makes it a little bit easier for Pacific to get into their offense.
And that may be the method to the madness of picking up a technical foul, if you're Bobbies. He's still having a conversation with the officials. Yango waiting for a double team that's not coming. Jensen's playing with 3 fouls, so he offers little defensive support without the double team.
Well, that's good recognition, too, by Yango, taking his time and getting a few extra bounces and getting closer to the rim.
Simmons, Robinson, shot out of a cannon. Take a little bit of Spud, mix it with a Muggsy, and you've got Nate Robinson. Putting it on the deck. 56-42.
Nice job just keeping it under control. Washington not reacting defensively.
How good is this?
Well, this is what kills you when your point guard gets in and gets on the offensive glass for a finish. Only 5'9".
The multifunctional element from Honda. Where will it take you?
This is Jeff. He has a push-free vacuum, automatic car seats, a sprinkler system that's also automatic, rain-sensing windshield wipers. When he comes home, the lights go on. And when he goes to bed, the lights go off. It's no wonder Jeff has a Fidelity Freedom Fund. He can set it and forget it, knowing that he has a diversified mix of stocks and bonds. Automatically, of course. For our Simple Start IRA, call 1-800-FIDELITY. Smart move.
It's simply brilliant. The best Xbox game ever. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell, Chaos Theory. The gaming revolution starts March 31st. Rated M for mature.
Enterprise rent-a-car for our trip?
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Even airports.
See? Airports, too.
Hello, welcome to Enterprise. Let me help you with that. Wow, the friendly service of Enterprise is everywhere.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Hammer throw is tough. It isn't just you against a 9-pound ball. It's you against yourself. It's pure concentration, and you have to dig deep inside to find every throw. It's brutal. I had to study biomedical engineering just to relax.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us are going pro in something other than sports.
And now the Singular Naismith flashback. Butch Lee was named the NCAA tournament's most outstanding player in Marquette's 1977 championship game. And in 1978, he followed that up with being named the Naismith Player of the Year.
Now play Naismith Trivia for a shot at $1 million. Text the word PLAY to 26222 on your wireless phone. You'll get 20 questions for 20 chances to win a trip to the 2005 NCAA Men's Final Four and a shot at $1 million.
There's a look at Lorenzo Romar and, of course, his star Nate Robinson. You have to feel pretty confident about your chances with him out there. Lorenzo fresh off an 8-year contract extension announced this week as his president Mark Emmert delivered the good news. 56-42 Washington.
Coach of the year in the Pac-10, very deserving. What a wonderful man. I played against him a number of years, have known him for a long time. We're same class coming out of school.
This is a mismatch underneath as Roy has a smaller guard, and he draws the foul. Well, mentioning guys that you've known for a long time and players that you can certainly think of that had great careers. We've made mention of Nate Robinson. What a unique. Is there anyone else that has ever played the game at that position quite like him?
No, he really is a hybrid. I mean, there have been shorter players like Spud Webb, played above the rim but was very slight. Muggsy Bogues was very powerful, but played along the floor. Yeah. And he's really a combination of both, which is really unique. And then certainly, I think his football background helps him in that situation.
No questions of toughness with Nate Robinson. There he is off the inbound. 59-42. Washington 6 out of 8 this half. And Trey Simmons and Nate Robinson are now very much a part of the offense.
Last thing you want to have is a team feel comfortable playing against you. Washington is in a huge comfort zone right now.
That offensive efficiency is going to come into play now for Pacific. And Gray gets his first triple. 59-45. 5 minutes gone here in half number 2 in Boise. Winner advances to the Sweet 16. Robinson in traffic. And there's Roy to pick it up. There's Jones to follow. Yango and company get involved and a foul on the deck. Actually, they ruled it on the end line. It'll be out of bounds to Washington.
I'm truly amazed at Washington, their ability to get on the offensive glass. And no really big players out there, but just so active. They're the first people off the floor to miss shots. 4 opportunities on that play, and Pacific is in a man-to-man, which you should be able to rebound better out of.
Joel Smith, an outstanding defender, not known for his offense.
Moriker's got to get involved here. He was the one who carried them in the first half and really sparked them offensively. They have got to have the ball going through him.
Webb wants it for 3, and he drains it. And if Moriker's taken away, that's the guy you look to, right?
He came alive a couple days ago. Certainly 5 3-pointers in that game, a career high for him.
And Washington really is taking Moriker away.
Yeah, he was front and back on that last play with the dig-in from the top.
Reach-in foul committed by Gray. Now Monday, Dave's all new with Sandra Bullock, plus music from Gwen Stefani. The Late Show's all new on Monday. Brandon Roy will trigger it in for Washington. Nate Robinson takes a seat as Jensen's come back onto the floor along with Conroy, Williams, and Brandon Roy for the Huskies. Again, Roy, guards really getting it done inside against Pacific's defense.
And they're just running people down in that low post, specifically him, and trying to look where the mismatches are. And Roy very confident on the low box.
Gray will stop and go and pull up. Oh, the iron kind, 61-50.
Pacific trying to hang tough. It's an 11-point game. Still plenty of time. 13:25 to play in the second half. Thank you for joining us on Singular at the Half. Back to Tucson for the second half of your game in just a moment.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half. Sponsored by Singular. Raising the bar.
Utah is led by 12. They're up by 9 at halftime over Oklahoma. Tomorrow on CBS, a fun-filled Florida beach is invaded by college co-eds and killer sharks. The OC's Shannon Lucio stars in Spring Break Shark Attack. That's tomorrow on CBS. The Runnin' Utes from the Mountain West Conference, the Sooners from the Big 12. You're watching CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the Men's Basketball Championship is sponsored by McDonald's, Enterprise Rent-A-Car, Allstate, and by Pontiac.
We're back in Tucson at the Austin Regional, and the Utes on top 30-21 with Dan Bonner. This is Kevin Harlan. There are some people, Dan, that would look at the numbers of Andrew Bogut, who a lot of people think is the best player in the country, and say he's really struggling, and the team is struggling. While the team is winning, what about him?
Well, I don't really know that Bogut is struggling. He's only taken 3 shots. I think it's good defense, but I think his presence has been dominant throughout this game. Now, he has no assist, but what we're going to show you here is 3 passes that led to fouls. There's a foul right there. Here's another pass. This is a foul. And then the 3rd pass results in the basket. His guy drops it, misses it, but it's tipped in by Markson. And Bogut, by moving him to the free throw line in that offensive set and making the entry pass to him, Utah has really done a nice job relieving the pressure that Oklahoma has been able to apply. So he's only 1 for 3, but Hawkins has 11 points in the game. Markson has 8 points in the game.
And here is Drisden in the game with Jackson, who's got the ball right now. Bogut is down low. Hawkins, and they've also got Bryant Markson. That's the 5 that begins the second half for the Runnin' Utes of Utah. It's Bookout with 3 fouls guarding Bogut, who misses on only his 3rd shot taken this afternoon. Here's Everett with Bookout. They got Jason Williams. Here's Lavender with the ball, and Taj Gray, and Bookout with the hook over Bogut. And Gray collects and is fouled. And through 20 minutes of first half basketball, here are some of the numbers.
And you notice there, Oklahoma 0 for 7 from the field. Only the 3rd time all season that they did not make a 3-point basket in the first half. The other 2 times, they won the games against Kansas and Oklahoma State.
Well, here is the Big 12 newcomer of the year, Taj Gray.
Bogut gets a lot of attention. I think the key right there was Bookout didn't let him get any closer to the basket. I mentioned Bookout before. Big guy, 260 pounds. Bogut can't move him.
Utah's led by 12. We've had a tie, no lead changes, and Oklahoma has never been on top. They've been within a handful, but that's about it. Utah has had all kinds of turnover woes in the first half, 11 to be exact.
Oklahoma cut into that lead in the first half with tremendous pressure on the ball. Let's see if they can apply that pressure here in the second half.
Here's Hawkins to Bogut. Bookout is on Bogut. And outside it ends up for Mark Jackson, who began the game with a couple of threes. The shot clock is down to 7. And the drive and the miss by Markson.
Well, that was great defensive recovery by Oklahoma to force Bogut to give up the ball and then to cover up the guys who were open.
Williams for 3 for Oklahoma. Markson gets the loose ball. Utah comes in 28-5. Oklahoma at 24-7, and that was Andrew Bogut.
Bookout does a nice job coming off Bogut. Bogut leaves. And it's a bad shot for Utah.
Sooners are the number 3 seed in this Austin Regional, and Utah number 6. Everett and squeezes one inside to Gray.
Gray just, I think, hurrying a little too much. He wants to get the ball to the basket before Bogut gets there. He's just got to play his normal game. Power the ball to the goal. Don't worry about Bogut. Here's that great pressure.
Markson from Bogut.
And that'll help relieve the pressure right there. Bogut gets the ball. Lavender takes a look at him. He finds Jackson open in the corner.
And Jackson has got a game-high 12. He has knocked down 3 3-point shots in this game. Bringing the screen for Everett. And slips the pass into Bookout, who works over Bogut.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Bookout, not in any big hurry, catches the ball, uses that powerful body to create some space.
Jackson racing the other way. Utah beat UTEP by 6 points on Thursday. Oklahoma took care of Niagara by 17 on Thursday. advance to this round of 32. Bogut to Hawkins.
Bogut is so good with his ability to see the court. Gray went to double team. Hawkins went to the goal. Nobody picked him up.
Lavender to Gray and picked up by Hawkins. Doubled by Bogut. Gray again. That time he was a tad more patient with his shot.
I think he saw Bogut slide over to pick up Bookout. Didn't worry about Bogut's presence, but I think that's where Oklahoma needs to go. Plus, I think they need to do a better job driving the ball at the basket.
Hawkins slipping by Gray and kicking it out to Drisdom for three. Good rebound by Gray. We've not seen a lot of fast breaking by either team, but Oklahoma loves to work that out as Bookout sets a screen for Everett, pickpocketed by Jackson. And here's a little fast break as Jackson floats in and is upended by Jason Williams of OU. Well, you've talked about, even though he's not scoring, Bogut is doing the other things to make this team and this offense go.
Well, he's drawing everybody's attention. Gray simply turns his back on his man. Hawkins faces Bogut. Bogut recognizes and finds the guy inside. One of the reasons why you haven't seen too many fast breaks is Utah very comfortable with Bogut going to the board. They send two guys back on every shot, so they're in pretty good position. Oklahoma hasn't been able to get transition opportunities except off turnovers.
13 now, a game high for Jackson. You know, we talk about Bogut and his Australian roots. He is not the only big man from Australia in major college basketball. Luke Schencher, of course, down at Georgia Tech. And if you look for a real presence from an Australian player, go back to Andrew Gaze with Seton Hall a handful of years ago. And that team went to the Final Four. A little bit more than a handful of years ago, but nonetheless, he was a prominent player on that Seton Hall team.
Well, obviously the lure of playing basketball in the United States quite attractive to a lot of these players in foreign countries.
Lavender for three. And Oklahoma is 0 of 9 shooting three-point shots this afternoon. 0 of 9.
That's not a good three-point shot. You need to make a couple of passes, force the defense to move. Bogut just stood there in the middle of the lane. As soon as the shot went up, he blocked out. No chance for an offensive rebound for Oklahoma on that play.
Drisdom to Jackson. And another three for him. Boy, that's his fourth. He went 0 of 4 on Thursday above the arc. And this afternoon, he is 4 of 5 on three-point shooting.
That was an extremely aggressive play. Lavender went right past him. He knew he had an opening. He took the shot.
Right now, Utah's got their biggest lead. Oklahoma is in a 13-point hole. Williams was pushed by Drisdom. Mark Jackson, who didn't even play on the team last year, didn't even go to school at Utah, has led the Utes past Oklahoma so far. Mark Jackson is still on the show, 17 points. We mentioned as we're going to break that he wasn't even in school, didn't even play for the basketball team last year.
He decided that he was going to give up basketball, has never really talked about the reason why, but he was out of school. And then when Ray Giacoletti took over as the coach, he approached the coaching staff, asked if he could play, went to the players on the team and said, guys, do you mind if I came back? They said no. They welcomed him with open arms, and he has had a very fine season, picks up a foul right there, but a great game today.
Williams is in, and right now Lawrence McKenzie is in the game in place of Drew Lavender. Those are the only changes. Chaney has come in for Utah, and that's it for the Utes. So that brings you up to date on the players on the floor.
The only guy on the Utah team that plays more minutes than Jackson is Bogut.
Gray was hindered. Bookout got the offensive rebound. Everett for two.
Nice offensive rebound. And Oklahoma, a team that's struggling to score. And when you're struggling to score, you have to find ways to manufacture baskets. And offensive rebounds a pretty good way. Now the defensive pressure creates a turnover.
Drisdom was guilty for the running Utes, and he picks up his fourth personal foul. Ray Giacoletti is going to have to think long and hard about how long he leaves in his junior. Tim Drisdom shooting in the game. Utah 46% and Oklahoma 28%.
And Oklahoma continues to hang around even though they're only shooting at 28%. You have to be impressed, though, with the Utah defense. We've talked a lot about the Oklahoma defense, but Utah doing a great job pressuring the Oklahoma shot attempt.
And Everett for three. And Bogut with the rebound. And he has now collected 9 with his 2 points, and he is 1 of 4 shooting in this game.
Now, one of the drawbacks with Drisden being on the bench for Utah is Jackson has to take over the ball handling responsibilities.
Bogut and Bookout is there. Across the lane, Andrew Bogut. His most forceful play this afternoon.
And Kevin, go back to the previous time they threw the ball in low to Bogut. Hawkins cut to the basket, got an easy layup. That time Gray did not go to double team. Bogut recognized, took the ball right to the goal.
Good point. Bookout trying to set a screen for Williams. Cheney will watch Williams on the perimeter. Everett, guarded by Markson. Bookout with the screen. And Everett will try to penetrate. Now find Williams for 3. And now Utah is +6, Dan, in rebounding in this game.
Utah's guys are doing a great job fighting through the Oklahoma screens, really keeping pressure on the basketball. And we just haven't seen the dribble penetration from Oklahoma today.
Cheney, Jackson, Bogut. And looking to dump it inside to Markson. A patient offensive set.
A patient offensive set and another smart play by Bogut. He could have forced that ball up on the rim, but he saw his teammate inside. Made a very, very nice play.
Gray sheds the defense and dives inside and still cannot hit the shot. And Oklahoma has only made 11 baskets on 42 tries.
Now Bogut turns to the basket. Bookout does a very nice job, but with everybody around Bogut, he sees Markson on the inside. Previous possession, nobody comes to help, and as a result, he takes the ball to the basket. The nice little left-handed shot.
So Bogut picks up number 2. And Taj Gray will be at the free throw line. The former high school player of the year in the state of Kansas. He's out of Wichita. And a lot of people had him ranked as the #1 junior college player in the country coming out last year.
Certainly hasn't done anything being named the Big 12 Newcomer of the Year to diminish that estimate. Now Bogut, something that he rarely does, he goes and takes a seat on the bench. He's got those 2 personal fouls, but one of the things that has really impressed me about Bogut, he doesn't seem to get any silly fouls. And that was a tough call inside.
And Bookout with the ball out of bounds. Chris Jackson has taken the place of Bogut, who has 3 assists on the last 5 run and Ute baskets.
And I'm telling you, he may not be running up and down as much in this game since the game isn't really quickly paced, but leaning against those big bodies on the inside really can be tiring. The fire alarm's going off.
The game has been held up because of a fire alarm being sounded.
No reason to worry. Well, either that, it's either the fire alarm or the building's backing up.
Something's going on, but they've stopped play. And they have people here in the building that will take a look at what is going on in the McKale Center with the alarm. Well, the winner of this Utah-Oklahoma game will move their way to Austin, Texas, and they'll take on the winner of Cincinnati and Kentucky, which should be a beauty. And here is the other side of that Austin bracket. Duke and Mississippi State. Mississippi State with a nice win over Stanford. And Greg Gumbel, we've got a little delay here in Tucson, and we'll swing it to you in our studios in New York.
All right, Kevin, we'll get back to you as soon as things get straightened out there. Meanwhile, in Boise, coming up on 6 minutes to play, Washington, 84-69 lead on Pacific. Let's join Tim Brando and Mike Jaminski.
The Huskies have taken control of this one in Boise. Pacific, the upstarts out of the Big West, trying to make a run, and Yango is fouled underneath. Difference in this game, turnovers created by the Huskies defense and the ability to use that lightning speed of theirs to get easy baskets on the other end.
Pacific really has had no answer. They had one little stretch, I thought, where the defense picked up, Tim, but Washington very impressive on that end of the floor.
And the Huskies with only 6 turnovers all day with the kind of play that they impose upon you. That's an impressive number.
That's, again, I think that goes to the versatility of each player being able to do a lot of things. And really, if you look at it, this has been a very cleanly played game. Both teams combined for 14 turnovers. Pacific has not turned it in this half.
I think conventional wisdom was if Washington could get to the upper 90s or 100, they would win this game. Pacific could perhaps manage a victory if the score were in the 80s, but not more than that. Jones, very strong on the baseline. Bobby Jones having one of his best days ever. 19 for him, averaging 11 coming in.
Well, then that begs the question, if you're a coach who's going to approach this game, you know, you're looking at a scouting report of Washington, who do you stop? Who do you focus in on? Everybody can beat you.
Well, they've already posted their season average in scoring. Karakic can't hit. Nice pass inside to Yango, and he's fouled on the way up. You have to feel for Guillaume Yango. He's given it all. His perimeter help has not been as good as he's accustomed. Bobby Jones picks up the foul. That's his fourth.
Greg Gumbel with you once again. We seem to have the problems ironed out in Tucson. Let's send you back. Utah is leading Oklahoma 44-30. We rejoin Kevin Harlan and Dan Bonner.
The fire alarm has been reset. The noise is off, and we are safe and clear to continue this game. Now, Andrew Bogut went on the bench just before that fire alarm went off, and he got maybe an extra minute or two of rest.
Well, he got a couple of minutes of rest and a couple of minutes without time running off the clock. Only a couple of seconds went by, and since those couple of seconds went by, they could actually put him back in the game after the delay for the alarm.
Cheney cup, and he lost the ball after making that cut. Jonas Longvad is in the game for Utah.
Kevin, you get the idea that the Oklahoma Sooners, if they're going to make a move, they've got to make a move now. They have struggled offensively the entire game. They've got to find a way to get something going on the offensive end.
No one in double figures for Oklahoma. A game high 17 by Jackson and a 3 by McKenzie. That is the first three-point hit by the Oklahoma Sooners today. They are 1 of 12.
The number 2 percentage three-point shooter in the Big 12, and that's exactly what we were talking about. They need to get the ball to go in the basket with a little more frequency.
Lead for Utah has climbed as high as 15. Right now they lead by 11.
And Oklahoma in a zone at the moment.
Now with the ball, the leading scorer, Mark Jackson. Knocked away, picked up by McKenzie. 2-on-1 with Williams to the trailing Taj Gray. Oh! And Gray is gone in this game 3 of 11. Boy, he's missed a couple just like that.
And that was a great opportunity. You have to give Utah some credit, though, getting back on defense, made it a tough shot. There's another turnover by the Utes.
They've got 16 turnovers in this game. Well, Oklahoma can't miss any opportunity, let alone one that's from point-blank range. And the Sooners are down by 11.
Make more of your money work for you. Consider a fund targeted to your retirement year. For more information and to open a no-fee Roth IRA, call 1-800-FIDELITY. Smart move.
At Blockbuster, we're changing everything. Are you ready for what's next?
They just keep it coming.
Introducing All You Can Watch, just $14.99 a month. Pick the plan that's right for you. Either rent movies in store or rent at Blockbuster.com, where you get your movies by mail. Right now, your first month is just $9.99. Prices and participation may vary. The new Blockbuster. Are you ready for more?
Throughout the NCAA tournament, you'll be voting for Pontiac's game-changing performances.
You'll help decide which schools will win up to $150,000 in general scholarship fund contributions from Pontiac.
And while online, you can record your voice over your favorite game-changing performance.
And if we pick your play-by-play, you could win a trip to this year's championship game, and you can also register to win one of these new Pontiacs.
So go to ncaasports.com/Pontiac and vote today.
Because you're calling the action.
Tears of joy?
No, Dad, eye allergies.
Sad about eye allergies? There's a Visine for that. Visine A provides powerful relief of itchy red allergy eyes. Clinical studies prove it. Eye allergies? There's a Visine for that.
You can't ignore Friday's new sizzling chicken and shrimp. It's just one of our 6 sizzling platters. Everyone could use more Fridays.
We switched to fair and flexible at Sprint because our old wireless company charged these huge fees for going over our minutes on our family plan. So we had a family meeting, took a vote, and decided it was all Wendy's fault. Yeah, but she suggested Sprint, so it all worked out.
Good call, Wendy.
Thank you.
No more huge overages. Sprint automatically adds anytime minutes as you need them. Every 100 minutes costs just $5. Others charge $35 or more. Sprint PCS. Now that's better.
We're in the Austin Regional, and Utah leads by 11. And vote for your Pontiac game-changing performance of each round. Nearly $150,000 of scholarship contributions is on the line. Take action and vote now at ncaasports.com/Pontiac. With Dan Bonner, Kevin Harlan, 11:40, second half. The Oklahoma Sooners have shot 28% from the floor in the game.
And it has been really solid defense by Utah. Nice pressure on the ball.
McKenzie for 3. He hit the last one. Gray with a big offensive rebound. Bogut was defending. And across the lane, Gray.
Boy, he muscled that one in the basket. No, wondering about where Bogut was. He knew Bogut was right on top of him. Creating turnovers, getting offensive rebounds. You don't have to shoot a high percentage, but now Oklahoma's got to turn it over to the defense to give themselves an opportunity to climb back in this one.
Little 6-0 Sooner run right now. Double-double, 11 points, 11 rebounds for Taj Gray. The first Sooner in double figures this afternoon. The guy with the ball, Jackson, leads all scores with 17. He's knocked down 4 threes.
And Oklahoma back in that zone. The shot clock now at 6.
Oh, wow. He indeed did. Justin Hawkins.
Nice job by Gray to get the offensive rebound. Then you see Bogut is one-on-one. He's a little quicker than Bogut. Takes the ball and powers it to the basket. The help a little late coming.
So Utah has fueled the 6-0 run by Oklahoma with 4 consecutive turnovers. They've got 16 for the game. It's Everett and Gray. And Bogut defending. And again across the lane. Moving one way and skirting the other and tapped up and in. Attacking the basket now. The Oklahoma Sooners and Lawrence McKenzie with the 2.
And they've done it with their defense forcing turnovers and then powering the ball inside. No longer worried about Bogut, just going right at him.
We've seen one Big 12 team come back from a double-digit deficit, Texas Tech, and win. Will Oklahoma be the second today? They've been down by as many as 15. Gilbert is in. Bogut drives. And that is a Johnny Gilbert foul.
Boy, what a great job by Bogut to maintain his pivot foot, Kevin, and take a long stride to the basket to draw the foul. This zone by Oklahoma has really caused Utah to sort of stand around a little bit on offense.
We've had a single tie that was early in the game. No lead changes. Oklahoma has been behind. Utah is led by as many as 15. The All-America at the free throw line, Australian Andrew Bogut, has put in 5 points in this game. Collected 9 rebounds. But as Dan Bonner's been saying all afternoon long, his presence has made almost a bigger indention on this game and really curtailed the Sooners.
Oh, there's no question about it. There's, you just can't measure his contribution to this game based upon the numbers that you mentioned alone.
So here come the Sooners. They've got Everett and Gilbert, Gray, Williams with the ball, and patrolling between the circles, McKenzie. There is a foul, and it goes on Richard Chaney of Utah. Picks up his first.
Utah has spread the offense out a little bit more, and it's created some driving lanes and some fouls.
Later, Cincinnati and Kentucky, and the winner of that game will take on the winner of this game in the Austin Regional in the Sweet 16. And out of bounds, he steps. That's a costly turnover for the Sooners, but only their 6th turnover of the game. Jackson with a game-high 17 with the ball. They've also got Markson out there, Chaney, Bogut, and Hawkins. That sets the lineups at the 9.5-minute mark of the second half. Everett is on Cheney. He lasers one inside, and Bogut thought maybe someone was back there to get that loose ball. Another Utah turnover.
A little bit too fancy that time.
And let's see if Oklahoma can exploit it. Gray to Gilbert. And he's guarded by Hawkins.
3-second violation. You know, Bogut has really done a nice job passing the ball today. Steps right into the middle of that zone. There's the double team. Actually, I think that ball was deflected. Caught his teammate out of the corner of his eye. That ball was deflected. I think it may have been another spectacular pass.
There's only one player in the game with 4 fouls. That's Drisdom of Utah. He is a starter, and he is on the bench. He's got 4. Lookout's got 3 for Oklahoma. Jackson to Hawkins. And Markson to Bogut, and back to Hawkins, and another nice offensive set for the Utah running Utes. And Bogut capitalizing. He's got 8 points and 9 rebounds and 3 assists for Utah.
What outstanding movement against the zone defense. No standing around that time.
McKenzie picks up his 4th foul for the Oklahoma Sooners. So you make a couple changes right now.
Andrew Bogut really does a nice job as the ball comes into him. Here you see Bogut. This is Bogut catching the ball. Now watch as he gets some vision to the other side of the court. The defense surrounds Bogut. Nobody steps into the lane. The lane is right there.
Hawkins has a double-double. 16 points with that free throw and 10 rebounds. Gray and Williams are out for OU. David Godbold and Kevin Bookout are back in the game for the Sooners. Bookout across the lane. Rebound by Hawkins, collecting his 11th rebound, and that is a new career high for Justin Hawkins, a sophomore from Anaheim, California.
Well, just when you think Oklahoma is going to start to make a run, the Utes have responded, and now the Sooners come out of that zone defense back into the man-to-man. Oh, what pass!
Bogut to Jackson as they invert their offense. That is a shove, and that is a foul. And it goes on Hawkins of Utah. That is the 3rd on him.
Now, Bogut's not going to get credit for an assist because Jackson wasn't able to convert the shot. Some good defense by McKenzie. Hawkins going to pick up the foul coming over the back. But that's 3 or 4 times at least in this game that Bogut has made an outstanding pass and has missed the assist.
Boy, some nice games coming up for you. UW-Milwaukee with that sensational upset win they had a couple days ago, taking on number 4 seed Boston College. Most of you will see Nevada and Illinois, and UAB against the 3rd seed Wildcats of Arizona as Gilbert knocks in his first free throw for the Sooners.
Those really are some intriguing matchups.
They really
Kevin.
are.
You know, UAB with the big win over in the Alphabet game. They beat LSU.
And UW-Milwaukee had the first real big upset of the tournament. It's Bogut with the rebound.
Yeah, and that was a surprising win to me. Not that Milwaukee's not a very good team, but I just thought Alabama was playing very, very well coming into the tournament.
You know, I saw Alabama against Kentucky a couple weeks ago down in Tuscaloosa. And they did play Kentucky well that afternoon. They were a deep team, but now they're gone. UW-Milwaukee will try to continue their interesting tournament so far.
You see, now the Sooners have to come out and try to make something happen. They commit the foul right there. There's 7:40 left in the game, and with this big lead, you can't let Utah run all the time off the clock.
Sooners have been digging out of a hole all afternoon long.
We got gas too, man.
7:40 to play. Some of the numbers so far with Utah on top by 11. They've led by as many as 15 with Dan Bonner, Kevin Harlan. Interesting part of the game now for the Oklahoma Sooners, who have trailed throughout.
They have trailed throughout. One reason is they're only 1 of 13 from behind the arc. I think to get back in this game, they have got to really play pressure on defense. They can't afford to let Utah run the clock down each possession. And I think they've got to make some three-point shots. I don't know that they have enough time with the way they've been shooting the ball to climb back into this one 2 at a time.
Oklahoma only 1 of 13 shooting the 3, and that's out of bounds. That is a Utah turnover.
And there's the pressure that we talked about, some trapping pressure. Hawkins thought that Bogut was going to cut to the basket, passes the ball out of bounds. Now, they've gotten the stop. Can they get a conversion?
And they got to play, I think, with some urgency as well as Bogut slaps it away from the cocked right hand of Bookout, who is sailing inside, and Bogut picks up personal foul number 3. So Kevin Bookout will be at the free throw line, and the free throw shooting in this game today has seen Oklahoma go 9 of 13 and Utah make 14 of 20 shots at the stripe.
And obviously these are very important. You can catch up while the clock is stopped.
Ray Giacoletti, who was in the NCAA's last season when he was the head coach at Eastern Washington.
Bogut, you see with those 3 personal fouls, and Oklahoma has really tried to attack him with recent possessions.
Janey gets it into Hawkins.
And Jackson coming back to get the ball. McKenzie, he's got some foul problems, but he can't worry about that. He's got to apply great pressure.
Utah, the Mountain West Conference regular season champions. As they take it the other way. And a foul goes on Godbold for a 3rd time. Oklahoma was the co-champ of the Big 12 conference in the regular season with Kansas. Both the Jayhawks and the Sooners finished at 12 and 4.
Of course, the Jayhawks with an early exit from the NCAA tournament. It's probably the biggest upset of the tournament. Bucknell winning that one last night.
Bogut and snaps it off to Markson. Hawkins, Bogut. The one thing they do is go from side to side very well with the passing as they've got a foul.
Kevin, they really do. They do a nice job keeping the floor spread, but they don't panic either. That shot clock is running down, and they're still trying to make the extra pass and get in position.
Everett just picked up his 2nd foul for the Oklahoma Sooners.
And Bogut, he's getting knocked around.
The pinball in there. Hawkins gets it and is tailed by Everett.
And the main benefit for Utah right there, they get another 35 seconds on the shot clock.
Andrew Bogut. Oh, what a pass. Yes, inside. He gets Bryant Markson. And that's what he's been doing the entire game, spraying one pass after another to an open teammate. And that's a big reason why Utah's up by double digits and sliding inside with the great play is Terrell Everett.
And that's something that we haven't seen very much of from Oklahoma today, that penetration from out on the perimeter, taking the ball all the way to the basket. However, the Sooners are not in a position where they can trade points with Oklahoma.
6 minutes to play in this round of 32 game. Bogut inside. That ricochets off the palm of David Godbold. And 16 seconds on the shot clock.
Now, Kevin, take a look at this here. Here's Bogut. Watch everybody looking at him, and then nobody sees Markson cutting underneath the basket. That is just a great pass by Bogut. Good patience, good recognition.
It's going to be Utah's ball. Well, we knew Bogut can score and shoot and rebound. And we got a taste of his passing the other day. But this is a whole new dimension that I think the nation is seeing, that this kid has got a lot of layers to him.
Certainly he can contribute out there even when he's not scoring points, and we've seen that very clearly today. Just the fact that he's out there has really disturbed Oklahoma.
Here he goes with the drive in the feet. Markson dropping the sledgehammer.
Now this is a 7-foot guy that just did what many guards don't do. You take a dribble, you jump stop, you make a pass.
Way outside, that 3 will not go.
Now I think Oklahoma's got to force some turnovers. Even if they risk fouling, they've got to try to get some turnovers.
And Bogut held by Bookout. And that will roll in. And Bogut's got 8 points and 10 rebounds and 6 assists. And time is running out on Oklahoma. Andrew Bogut, maybe the Wooden Award winner. Not scoring, not really rebounding, but boy, he is setting up his teammates, and Utah's on a roll.
Remember the '87 Hoosiers run and this clutch jumper?
Or when Princeton knocked off UCLA with the backdoor play.
Each a game-changing performance.
Now you can help pick the Pontiac game-changing performance of the 2005 NCAA tournament.
Go to ncaasports.com/Pontiac and vote after each round of play.
You'll help decide which schools will win up to $150,000 in general scholarship contributions from Pontiac.
So take action and vote.
I love the tender, crisp bacon cheddar ranch, the breasts that grow on trees, and streams of bacon ranch dressing flow right up to your knees. There's tumbleweed bacon and cheddar paves the streets. You get the veg all day, all the lotto tickets pay. There's a king who wants you to have it your way. That's the tender, crisp bacon cheddar ranch. The tender, crisp bacon cheddar ranch.
Come and get it.
I still don't get it. Why do I need AOL on top of my high-speed connection?
Let's say that your ham sandwich is a computer on a basic high-speed connection. And let's say that my tuna sandwich is a computer with the protection of AOL. Let's go on the internet.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Here's a whole bunch of spam. And more spam. Spamity calamity. And then here's some computer viruses. Now, which would you rather have? Basic high speed or high speed with AOL?
I'll have the tuna.
Actually, the tuna's mine.
You have some computer virus on your shoe.
Get AOL on broadband for greater peace of mind and much more. Want a better internet? You belong in America Online.
They're right behind me.
I see him.
Go south.
Head for the roof.
I sent the package overnight.
Should be there by 8:30.
Should be there? Trust me, he'll be there.
The most trusted color on earth. UPS. What can brown do for you?
Utah leading by 13. Monday, Dave's All New with Tandra Bullock, plus music from Gwen Stefani. The Late Show is all new on Monday on CBS. Andrew Bogut with 8 points and 6 assists. In a very big portion of Utah's success today has been his play, even though he has not put up scintillating numbers in various categories.
Kevin, and he's made at least 4 or 5 passes that should have been assists, but his teammates have dropped the ball or Oklahoma's blocked shots.
Lavender back in. Here's Jason Williams on top.
Now Utah drops back into his zone defense.
Bookout is out. Gilbert is coming for Oklahoma. Those are some of the Sooner changes.
It may not be a zone, just not a lot of movement out there by Oklahoma. It's hard to tell.
And Jason Williams for 3. And off of Gray and saved by Williams, and back into Taj Gray over Bogut. Another rebound by Taj Gray, and this time he makes it go.
Timeout, Kelvin Sampson.
11-point Utah lead, 4.5 to play.
Excuse me, are you still relying on your broker for investment ideas?
Got an alternative? I'm listening.
Some of you will be going shortly to either Nevada against Illinois or UAB against Arizona. Here with 4:32 to play, Utah, which has led most of the game except the very early time. And being up by as many as 15 in the second half on top, 55-44.
And interestingly, Kevin, a very balanced attack by Utah. They have 3 guys in double figures, and Bogut is not one of them.
And Jackson has 17 to lead all scores. Bogut against Gilbert and dumping into Cheney. 7 assists for Andrew Bogut. All in this second half. Cheney's got his first 2 of the game.
Top seed in the Chicago region, the Fighting Illini of Illinois. We'll send you to Indianapolis to join Dick Enberg and Jay Billis after this word from your local station.
This year's Jackson gets out of the handcuffs and gets it off to Cheney. 3.5 left and a foul on Lavender. We've seen a lot of this all day long. Andrew Bogut setting up others. They're shooting 56% because of...
To the Final Four in St. Louis. The champions of the WAC, the Wolfpack of Nevada, against the #1 team in the nation, the Fighting Illini of Illinois. And it's going to be before a record second-round crowd. And you can see there's the matchup. They'll move on to Chicago in the Sweet 16, the winners. Hello, everyone. Dick Enberg along with Jay Billis.
for the Illini. They've been led all season long by their all Big Ten trio in the backcourt. They have a high-powered offense. When those guys are shooting the three, they're hard to beat, but they do more than that.
Well, the key is going to be their defense. Illinois has got to get great ball pressure on Nevada, move them further out on the floor, and will Nevada be able to handle that pressure? They've got to be ball strong.
Here's the starting lineups for you, and on the left side, the Wolfpack of Nevada, led by Nick Fazekas, the 6'11 sophomore, 21 points a game and 9 rebounds. And for the Illini, Augustine, Powell, Head, Brown, Williams, so much national notoriety, they are household names. The officials are Kitts, Higgins, and Giddy. Illinois in their orange uniforms to match the dominant color in this crowd. 40,000 fans expected. The second round record goes back 15 years ago here when 37,842 attended. Williams will start it off for the Illini. The Big Ten champions lost only to Ohio State. Final game of the regular season. A turnover as Powell loses it. The long pass to Fazekas is way over his head.
Nevada starts out man-to-man against